you. So today what I'm going to do is we're going to go over my wellness pillars. So pillars of wellness for your physical health, and understanding what it is to actually like charge up your body. What's the science of that? What does it actually mean to charge up your body? And how does it actually help you when you increase your electricity, your voltage, the flow of energy? How does that actually connect into helping you in the spiritual realm, helping you with connecting with intuition, helping with connecting to your heart's truth? And we'll move into what I call a heart coherence journey. Okay? So throughout this, we're going to learn the actual concepts. We're going to do some stuff with those concepts so you can feel them. And then as we move through, we'll go into the journey so you can actually feel for yourself what I mean when I say heart coherence and connecting with your heart. Dive into this thing. So the bioelectric temple. So this is really cool. Just to give you guys why it says merging ancient Norse wisdom with the science of heart coherence. So what I didn't lay at the beginning with the context there is that I'm also bringing in the concepts I'm learning from my Seder practices. And Seder is Norse magic, Norse shamanism. And I'm in a 9-month container right now learning about that. So learning how they use connections with the energies of the earth and the subtle energies of the body to help others heal, to help communities, like connecting with that. And today I'm connecting that knowledge as well with the physical knowledge I've learned over the years, and connecting it with like how we can actually use that to heal our bodies and reach our higher potentials, as I was talking about before. So that's a little bit about that. So moving into the great separation. Now, I know, Jeff, you've been on, actually both of you guys have been on I talked about this before with the separation from body and mind. Okay, so this is a huge separation, and this is something that really gets me passionate about this work. Is this, I see a great separation within society. And me and Morena actually watched the documentary last night that was really diving into this. But what I see, the reason we have so much pain and so much disconnection within our society is actually because we are fragmented, right? We have taken this holistic whole being, which is a human, which we have a soul, we have a physical body, we have a spirit, right? We have all these things, but we fragmented them. And we have literally, as a society, decided to cut ourselves off from our body and live from here up, right? So you can see we have the cognitive function, the biological pump, your heart, which I'm saying is like your body that connects you to this plane, your heart, and the genetic blueprint. So this is our DNA. This is like our ancestral like wisdom, all of that, right? So these things have been fragmented, and we've separated them. And that's our society in general, right? You have doctors who focus on certain parts of the body. They don't look at the whole. You have everything's fragmented. We have specialists for this, specialists for that, right? So what I'm bringing in is I want to help you guys and anyone listening to this is understand how to get out of our minds and come and connect it all back, right? So you'll have spirit above coming down, flowing, and you have your mind still, right? And then connect to the heart. And through the heart, you can actually make decisions. So I love this metaphor of this movie I watched. It's called Metropolis. It's a 1920s silent film, right? So in this film, you have what they're representing as the head, the heart, and the hands, right? So the head is all the elites in this metropolis city that are running everything, right? They're the top, they live above ground, they're the head, right? They're the mind, okay? And then you have the workers who live below the city, who actually keep the city running. So those are the hands, right? It's kind of like your body. It's like the mind is telling the body what to do. Now what's happening? The workers are overworked, they're sick, they're poor, they're miserable. It represents all this in the movie. And they start to get angry too, right? And all this stuff is happening. And that's same as we see today. It's like our mind is telling us what to do without our heart being there to like be a mediator. So it's kind of like violent. Bodies are breaking down. We're doing things that aren't in alignment with our greatest truth, with our truth, our authentic self, right? So within the movie, this one elite comes down from the mind and comes down into the workers, into the body, and he sees what's going on. He feels it. He actually becomes a worker. He starts working there. And he starts developing a heart for the body, for these people. And what he does in the end is this famous quote is that he comes and talks to the elites again, and he becomes the mediator between the elites and the workers, right? So between the head and the hands, he becomes the heart. And so the line is that the heart must be the mediator between the head and the hands. And what I take that as is that we need to come back into our bodies and into our hearts and lead from there. Because without it, if you skip this step, we're just living in our minds, and our minds operate a lot of times from fear and stories. And obviously, we can work with our mind to change those stories and work with our subconscious. But if we're just living from here and not from the heart with the feeling and using it as our filter of truth, and that's when chaos can happen in life. That's when our body can start to break down. That's when we can start making decisions that just lead to where we don't actually want to be in life, right? So that's a little bit of what this slide is about. And we were going from this fragmented view to the integrated reality. So integrating all parts of us and understanding those parts and living from there, right? All right. Cool. So this is just a little bit more, and this is also going into what I was talking about, what I'm learning in the Norse mythology and how they may have viewed the world, right? So we have this spiritual currency called Megin. Now, Megin, in what I've learned from my teacher, is that this is your physical vitality. This is your actual physical energy that you have within your body, right? One of the gods y'all would know if you've watched Marvel movies or just know Norse mythology is Thor. So Thor was a very good representation of what I'm talking about with Megin. And you know he works with thunder, and his hammer like charges the lightning and everything. That's representing the Megin, the force, the amount of energy that you can charge within your body, right? And it's also the energy they believe that you could use to weave your destiny. This is the energy you have to actually cultivate this so you are not just being drug along in life, right? So this is part of that, like getting the heart back in the mix too. It's like coming in the heart, charging up your body, and being able to actually make decisions because you have the energy to do it. If I were to simplify this, being able to have Megin, physical force, and we're about to get into voltage, is actually being able to have the energy to make more decisions to actually lead your life, to work with the things within your psyche, within your body, within your aura, all these things, to be able to actually like, yeah, just not be drug along in life. Because I've been there. I've been there where I'm just tired. I'm just going. I know all of you guys have been there. It's just we got to survive. We just got to survive. So it's coming out of survival and being able to raise that voltage, raise that Megin, and be able to lead your life from there, right? So with this voltage on the right, I see it as the same thing as Megin, right? So voltage is really, what is voltage? So let's start with charge, right? So charge is the actual electrons and the amount of like energy. Like think of a battery, how full it is. Voltage is how that charge moves. It's the speed at which it can move. It's the flow of that energy, right? So you have the voltage here. You can see the picture. It has the positive and negative electrons. So our cells are naturally meant to be at this negative charge, right? And the more voltage you have is the more polarity you have, right? So so you have the positive and you have the negative. And when you negatively charge yourself, you negatively charge your cells, they function properly. And we're about to get into that as well. So this is really interesting stuff that I've learned recently. The primal law, healing is voltage. I love this shit. This is amazing. This is when I get really excited. So this is the science of what I'm talking about with Megin and voltage, right? So you can see down here, based on the work of Dr. Jerry Tennant, and there's another doctor, I can't remember his name right now, but he helped write the book, The Body Electric, which anyone watching this, you guys, if you ever want like a really good rundown of the science of what I'm talking about today, The Body Electric has been one. I haven't read it myself, but it keeps getting like every other book I'm reading, they like quote from it. You know what I mean? So it's definitely on my reading list, and I suggest it for y'all as well. So anyways, what's cool about this picture right here, you can see at the top, we have negative 50 millivolts. So what I was talking about in the previous one, we want to be negatively charged, not positively charged, okay? So when we're at negative 50 millivolts, our cells can actually regenerate. When they're at negative 25, we're healthy, we're stable, we're at homeostasis, right? We're stable, we're feeling good. As soon as you start dropping below that, you enter entropy. And entropy is the loss of energy, the breakdown of cells, right? Versus syntropy. The other word is syntropy. We start building up energy, right? So what we want to do, what I was talking about building Megin, building voltage, we want to be able to increase that so we can get to that healthy stage of negative 25 millivolts. And then you can get to negative 50 to start regenerating, right? It's interesting, and I'm not going to go into it in this workshop, but there's a lot of things I've been doing this winter to help increase my voltage so that I can begin regenerating, right? Because we're going to go into spring, we're going to go into summer. That's where I'm using a lot of energy, kind of breaking down my body, doing stuff, building, creating, right? So that's another topic, but just something I felt like I wanted to throw in there. All right, so now you understand just a little bit of voltage and Megin, what I was talking about with Megin, and why it's important to be able to build that voltage and build that energy and be able to utilize that to, yeah, actually like lead your life, right? And what I want to get into now is how do you actually do that? Like, it's cool to know, yeah, your cells, you charge them up, like that's going to help you, all this stuff, right? But how do you actually do that? So I have 5 pillars, my 5 wellness pillars I'm going to go through. And with them, I'm going to show you how we actually start charging up our bodies. Okay. So pillar 1, deep breathing. So I feel like all of you have probably done, raise your hand if you haven't done any kind of breath work, like any kind of just breathing practice. Yeah. So everyone's done some kind of breathing practice, right? So breath. One of the coolest things I like to talk about with breath is when you breathe in oxygen, like you breathe in air and you're outside, you breathe that in, you're actually breathing in electrons, negatively charged electrons. Each oxygen molecule, when you're outside in a natural setting, not inside a dense city or indoors with AC, you're outside, you actually get negatively charged oxygen, 4 extra electrons that when you breathe, they exchange into your body. So you actually are breathing in charge with every single breath, right? So this is just, it's like free electricity, free charge for your body, right? So this is why it's so important to be able to breathe in. And a really cool fact about this, like with breathing, is talking about nasal breathing as well. So I'm just going to give you the full picture. If you really want to charge up your body, you're outside in a natural setting, best you can, wherever you're at, and you're breathing fully through the nose. And this is a cool fact I actually learned recently. What is on here with nasal breathing is a vasodilator, which will increase your O2 uptake by up to 18%. So by simply just breathing through our nose, we're actually getting more of that oxygen, more of that into our bloodstream, and more of that energy being sent to every cell in our body, right? And that's simply just by nasal breathing, okay? So even if you didn't go outside, you're still inside. It's like you're going to be able to utilize more of the oxygen in the air, okay? So This is really cool stuff. Getting into breath as prana, which I kind of skipped over that one for a little reason, but the life force that fuels potential. So this is cool. You have breath as prana, and I am learning a new word, ond, O-N-D. It's like life force that you breathe. It's what runs through us. This is in the Norse practices, Norse tradition. So we're breathing in that ond, that prana, that life force. Breath is so important. Breath can take us to so many levels, but it literally just want to show you guys how this actually charges us up as we breathe with every breath. So I'm going to take you guys just a few deep breaths here. So with each pillar, I'm going to take you through a little exercise. And we're going to build up our charge as we move into the heart coherence journey. Okay? So it's just a short little breath thing you can do anytime you just want to charge up your body or even relax your body. So whatever you're doing, guys, I'd invite you, if you feel comfortable, just go ahead and close your eyes. So this is going to be our first little practice today to start dropping us into our body and start charging us up. Okay. Just go ahead and move your attention to your breath. And wherever you're at with the breath, I just want you to go ahead and breathe it all out. So breathe out the nose, all it out. And take a big breath in through the nose, filling the entire belly, the chest, and I want you to hold that. And take in one more sip of air through the nose, holding, and let it out through the nose. And as soon as you hit empty, breathe in again. Holding at the top, sipping a little more air through the nose, then breathe out the nose. Let that breath rebound, breathing into the nose, holding at the top, and exhale through the nose. And just continuing to focus on that breath, breathing in and out the nose. Just noticing how you feel. See if you feel any slight difference. It's okay if not. Just allowing that breath to return to its natural rhythm, in and out the nose. Yeah. Beautiful, guys. So you can go ahead and open your eyes whenever you're ready. Yeah, it's just a little exercise. I know you guys know how to breathe, but really bringing your attention to nasal breathing. And just one last tip I'll go on this, because I have other workshops if you want to go deep on breathing. It's like a whole hour and a half of me talking about breath. Just even at night, if you know you're a mouth breather, looking into mouth taping. So just a small practice that in the night you can keep nasal breathing. So you're always getting this really good breath, this really good charge. But yeah, that's the last thing I'll say on breath for today. So pillar 2, deep nutrition. I don't know how I'm going to do a live exercise on this, but I'm feeling something coming through. It's going to be good. All right. So pillar 2, deep nutrition. How do you actually get charge from food? So most of us, at least for me, because my background is in sports nutrition and sports medicine, right? So I thought of food as calories, food as protein, macros, minerals, vitamins, all that. That stuff's cool. It has its place. It has its uses. But today I want to talk about nutrition in an electrical light. So there's a difference, obviously, between processed food and natural, like organic foods, right? So the processed foods, to me, I'm just going to tell you straight up, are dead. They don't have a negative charge. They're not giving off light energy. It's like eating what you may have heard the term empty calorie. it's an empty calorie on all levels, energetic and like actual like calories. Your body, like, it's funny. I think it doesn't know what to do with it, so it turns it into fat. It's like, I don't know what the heck to do with this. Let's store it for later. Whatever. We'll deal with this later, right? So, as we see here, food is either an electron donor or is an electron stealer, right? So, that processed food will actually take voltage from you. It'll take an electron from you because it has to use it to help break it down, right? So every time we eat these foods, you feel sluggish. If you look at it from an electronic level, it's literally taking energy from you. It's like it's stealing it. So yeah, that's why we feel so down when we're eating food like this. But you also have electron donor foods. So it's funny, I love this picture because it's real bright on the left. You have these bright, fresh fruits and greens and avocado and stuff like that. So what happens is when we eat these foods, they actually give us electrons. They give us their energy, right? So this is the best way to get the most energy from your food is eating as fresh as possible, right? Raised in harmony with nature. So not sprayed with chemicals, not given hate and stress when it's actually worked with. All this stuff gets put into the food, right? Everything, it's all energy. It gets put into the food. And then we have this idea of living food emits biophotons. They can literally measure this now, that the living food, the organic, like locally raised, like really taken care of, it's giving off biophotons. It is the coolest thing ever. It actually blew my mind because I read this recently that it's like illuminating. And if you guys didn't know, we are actually luminescent as well. They can measure biophotons coming off a living being. So the fact that the food is doing that as well, it means it's alive. It's like it has energy, you know? Okay? So this coherent light, you're going to hear this word a lot, coherence. We're going into heart coherence later. This coherent light comes into you. Your body actually knows what to do with it, and you're absorbing that light energy, right? If you think about it, all we're trying to do in this life is absorb light energy. Because even if you eat a cow, that cow was eating a plant which was capturing light for energy and turning that light into sugars, if you want to break it down chemically, into sugars for us to consume, right? But what is new for me is understanding that we're actually consuming that light energy itself too. Like the thing is like beaming off light. It's really dope. So that's really cool. And the last thing, consuming structured water, H3O2. So this is phase 4 water. Gary Pollock, forgetting his first name, but Dr. Pollock studies, and he's got a bunch of studies on this about the structure of water and how important that is, because actually our cells, the water within our body, is H3O2. It's not H2O. It's structured water. So my theory, this is my theory, guys. When you eat and you drink water that's structured as well, but specifically when you eat food that is structured, it hasn't been torn down by like overcooking it. It's raw, it's juicy, it's fresh, it's local. All of this, that structured water, your body doesn't have to turn it into structured water. This is my theory. So you're not using electrons. It's not stealing electrons to have to convert it to something your body can actually utilize. It's already in its perfect form. Okay? If that makes sense. So once again, I also have another workshop on full nutrition here, but today the concept is just electrons, photons, structured water, right? These are the most important things to understand. And really, if you want to break it down simple, eat locally, eat organic, like not sprayed with chemicals, and raised with love. Best you can, guys. Understand we live in a world where that is not the norm. So doing the best you can with what you got, right? And the last thing I'll tell you, me and Morena do this every time we eat. Put your hands over the food and just put good intentions into that food. All right? Because water picks up the water within the food. It holds memory. It knows what you're saying to it. It feels your aura, your energy. Just put some good thoughts into there. You'll feel it. So cool, guys. I don't know about y'all, but I am freaking loving this. All right. Pillar 3, playful movement. This is personally my favorite. Like I said, my background is sports medicine, so I actually studied probably a total of 5 years in those subjects: exercise science, athletic training. I was doing physical therapy for a while with Delta Airlines, like other stuff. Just movement is one of my favorites. So pillar 3, playful movement. Now, why is it called the generator? Because as we move, as we twist, as we shake, as we jump, all this stuff, our body is actually creating energy from that. Which, I mean, I know from my studies that you think, oh no, when you move, you're using energy to move. But at the same time, you have what's called fascia in your body, okay? Your entire body, everything is connected by fascia. If you didn't have fascia and it was just tendons and bones and muscles, you would fall over, because the fascia gives you tension to be able to stand up, to be able to hold everything together. Now, within that, it is a liquid crystalline structure with liquid running through it, okay? And as it moves back and forth with the liquid in between, it's conducting electricity. So when you twist like this, like literally, actually, come on, do it with me, guys. So just like, you can put your arms up, but just twisting back and forth. Yeah, Marina knows what's up. I see you. So I want y'all to keep doing that. I want you to feel into that. Even if you feel weird, keep going. We're just playing. And you can start wiggling, start moving the head, do whatever you want. Shaking a little bit, shake your shoulders up and down. Yeah, just get moving. I know y'all felt this before. Maybe when you're listening to some music, you just get the body grooving and moving. But yeah, and just start bringing that down. Start bringing that down. Just bringing that down. And really just noticing, like, is there a slight uptick in, like, maybe your mood? Maybe you're just a little bit of energy. And you don't have to answer. It's just, I'm trying to get you guys to really notice just little subtleties, because a lot of this stuff I'm talking about can be little subtleties. A lot of times it can be different depending where you are on the charge scale. If you're at a negative, like if you're at a -0 millivolts, you're probably going to feel a big actually increase just by shaking, just by like, or if you're in the positive, if you're like your cells are positive, if you start shaking and moving and just getting a little bit more negative charge in your body, you're actually going to feel a bigger effect. So it's a good way to actually see, where am I actually at right now? Because like if that was just giving me a big boost, then maybe I'm like more in the positive. So just stuff to think about there. So stretching and compressing, yeah, generates the piezoelectric effect. So that's the scientific name for it. What I was talking about with the fascia sliding back and forth over each other and creating charge. That's the piezoelectric effect. This happens in your bones as well. So when you compress your bones, that is actually creating a charge as well. It's really cool stuff. So playful variable movement, I teach this over and over, and I will just teach it till the day I die. I think exercise and gym has its place. All these things has its place. But if it were up to me, and this is what I do, is one, I am also like grateful that my work, a lot of the work I do is variable movement. It's never the same thing. I'm doing something, like maybe I'm chopping down a tree today, maybe I'm like working in the garden the other day, maybe I'm on a construction site the next day, or maybe, you know, I'm just inside and I can do my own stretches and stuff, right? But getting to play with movement, I love to climb trees. Absolutely love it, because it's a lot of things in one. I'm outside breathing fresh air, so you have breath. And then I'm touching a tree barehanded or barefoot most of the time, so which we're going to get to, grounding. So I'm getting electrons from that. And then me moving like this, challenging my mind. It's moving my body. It's charging me up. So you can see how all these things start to play together, right? And start to charge you up. Okay. And this thing at the end, it says hydrates this network and releases stored trauma. This is a huge thing, that your fascia can actually store trauma. It can store wounds, old emotions, old stories. It holds it in the physical body, right? So when you start working with your body, you may actually have some emotions come up. It's not always going to release them, but if you just start focusing on pains in your body and moving that area and starting to get the flow going again, and do maybe some like fascial releases and stuff, that can actually happen. I've had it happen where I just start break out crying. I remember in Brazil this past year, just started crying after doing something in my hip, like just releasing it. So it's really wild stuff, guys. Cool. So we'll move on to pillar 4, nature connection, the ground, right? So this was a term, I don't know who termed it earthing. I think it's kind of funny to call it earthing, but I'm using it because it is a popular term. So earthing is simply being barefoot out on the ground. As simple as it gets. You're out on natural ground, not concrete, like actual earth, dirt, soil, and you're picking up free electrons from the earth. So I was talking about negative electrons. The earth is a natural battery that's giving off negative electrons. And as you stand on that earth, you are absorbing them. Your hands and your feet have the most receptors for negative electrons, right? Your skin, the other parts of your body don't accept them as well. They will absorb them, but your hands and your feet have the most negative electron receptors, right? So this is the easiest way to get free energy is go outside and stand on the earth and breathe. Bam. Good. You're good to go. You're charged up. I suggest 15 minutes a day, at least. It's going to be the most powerful. And then the last thing I want to say about this, because I think this is pretty straightforward, guys. Tune the brain to the Schumann resonance, 7.83 hertz. It's not always 7.83 hertz. It does vary, but that's like the average, right? And this is the resonance that like bounces around in, oh man, I wish I could remember which part of the atmosphere. But essentially, if you want to create an image in your mind, I'm better with images. Imagine you have this ring, there actually is electromagnetic like ring around the earth, right? And there's this resonance. There's this like, we can measure this in the atmosphere. It's like this tone that the electric part of our body knows. It can pick up on, right? And this is the waveforms, that 7.83 hertz, like how fast it's moving. Imagine a wave. So hertz, you'll see the wave. 7.83 is pretty long and big waves, right? Slow, long, earthy waves, right? So when we get into that resonance, it naturally helps us to calm down. It calms our nervous system, gets us out of the fight or flight, coming into just rest and digest, right? And that's when you start getting more clarity. You can focus, you can go inward, you can connect. And it's going to help your whole body to start to operate better, right? So there you go. All right, guys. So the last one here, pillar 5, deep sleep, the repair. So sleep is very vital. We all know this. We know what it feels like to be sleep deprived. We know like the pain of not being able to sleep. It hurts, literally hurts, right? So deep sleep consolidates your Megin. Megin, what do we talk about? Your Megin is your vital force. It's like your vital energy, right? So sleeping is helping you like rebuild this force. So throughout the day, you're using it, right? You're slowly losing charge possibly and all this stuff, and you're using your energy. So rebuilding that Megin. Something cool I learned also, I've learned about the glymphatic system years ago, but something else I learned that you guys may find fascinating. So the glymphatic system is what helps flush your brain at night. But what I didn't know is that your brain cells shrink by 60% at night so that flushing can happen. I'm like, that's wild that your cells grow and like shrink and grow, and the body's incredible. It's just a cool fact I wanted to share with y'all. But sleep, that's helping you repair. That's helping you flush the toxins from your brain to help repair them, help rebuild them, right? And then we have melatonin. Melatonin is the spiritual molecule. It's also an antioxidant that protects the mitochondria. But melatonin, I like to talk about the spiritual molecule more because this is what helps us dream. This is what helps us get into that theta state, that meditative state as well. helps us with our dreams, helps us sleep. It is a powerful antioxidant to protect brain cells, protect our mitochondria, because we have two different types of melatonin. The mitochondrial melatonin that's in our like what we call the powerhouse of the cells, the mitochondria that keep us like moving, grooving, all that stuff, right? Working with electrons. And then you have for the brain to help us sleep, to help us calm down. It's the pituitary gland. Or no, the pineal gland. Sorry. Pineal gland, guys. So that's what's producing your melatonin. Right? So it's very important to get sleep. Right? If we don't get sleep, we will definitely lose our charge, right? Okay. So like I said, I have workshops on all to go deep into these. Today, I just wanted to really go on how these actually help you build up charge, right? So we did a little bit already with the breath and the doing a little bit of movement, guys. So we're going to keep moving and grooving here. I just got a few more slides just about how this actually helps you when you're charged. I want you guys to understand heart coherence. What do I actually mean by that? I don't want to just take you through the experience like, yeah, I want you to feel it, but I actually want you to understand it a little bit as well. And know that I'm studying this more and more as well. And I just want to take you guys along the journey of what I've learned so far, because this is super fascinating stuff. All right. So from charged battery to coherent broadcast. So we've used our 5 pillars. We've charged up our body. We're at negative 50 millivolts. Negative 70 is an interesting level as well. That's when you start getting that spiritual connection and just feeling like you're walking in, the spiritual realms and the physical realms. And it's like your body's like supercharged and connected, right? All right, cool. So actually, I want to go back, talk a little bit about coherence first. So coherence, what does that actually mean? All right. So imagine coherence is when things are working together, right? Everything is flowing. Like what I talked about, remember I talked about the Schumann resonance, the resonance of the earth. When you are in coherence with the earth, your body, your waves, the hertz, the measurable brain waves, the electrical flow moving through your body is very similar to the Schumann resonance, right? So you can measure your brain waves when they're in like that theta and alpha state, so more that relaxed state. Your brain waves actually match the Schumann resonance more because they're around 10 hertz, right? They're getting closer. So theta would be like, I believe it's 7 hertz and below, somewhere in that range. And then alpha state is like 10 to 20 hertz. So as you become more relaxed, as you tune in, you're coming into coherence with the earth, right? So coherence in the body is this interesting state where your brain waves and your electrical system, the nervous system, the flow of the electricity going through there, and like your breath rate, super interesting. It's all in this similar wave pattern, right? So they're working, it means they're working together. And the waves from your heart, like your heart gives out this electromagnetic field around you, that's in coherence as well. It's all within, what was the science of that? What was the number? Like within 1 hertz of each other. And there's different levels of coherence. We're not all going to reach this perfect level of coherence, right? But the more and more coherent you are, the better your systems are able to communicate with each other and work together, right? So you can see in the picture here, you have this wave, this coherent broadcast coming from this person, right? So when that broadcast is going out, if it's incoherent, we're unable to really actually read it, unable to actually like our different systems to communicate with each other as well, right? So I'm going to move to the next slide here. I believe, yeah, there you go, cool. So we'll work with this one in just a minute. But so what happens is if our field is in coherence, we're actually able to read the field better, communicate with it better, understand it better. Okay? So what this is, how do I break this down for you guys? Here we go. So imagine a cell tower, right? Imagine a cell tower is putting out a signal. It's putting out a signal, it's putting out a wave. It's an electromagnetic frequency. The same thing that your heart puts out, magnetic frequency. Okay? If that cell tower is not putting out a coherent wave, it's harder to read. It's harder to read the info. It's kind of like a radio wave as well. Like when it's staticky, it's not in coherence. You're unable to like actually hear it, right? So same with our body. It's like you're unable to read it, unable to connect with it. And I'm leading us into this because I want you to understand that when we go through the journey in coherence, you're getting into coherence so you can actually start listening to the messages of your heart, being able to read those signals. Okay? All right. So some cool facts about the heart's magnetic field, getting more into that now. It's 300 to 5,000 times stronger, depending on your voltage charge, depending on where you're at health-wise. It can be up to 5,000 times stronger than the brain's. And it's a carrier wave for information. So that's what I was explaining to you guys, is it actually carries information like a cell tower, like a Wi-Fi oscillator that's sending out a signal. It all carries information, right? That's why when Sean walks in the room and he hasn't said a word, I can be like, dude, you feel heavy. Or dude, you feel fucking awesome. I'm literally reading his heart. Same with like Moreno walks in the room and we live together. So it's like, we feel it all the time. We feel it each other all the time. And this is the importance, just by the way, guys, having alone time, because get out of other people's fields and get into yourself, right? Very important. I want you, that just came up for me because it's very important for me. Yeah, very important, right? And then this next thing is going to lead into why that's so important as well, and why it can be important to actually be in people's fields that are like in strong coherence. So there's this thing in biophysics and physics in general, they call it entrainment, right? A strong oscillator, which can be a coherent heart, or it can be just a strong signal from an oscillator is like, it's an energetic part like within the radio tower that's just constantly putting out a steady signal, right? It's just a steady wave. That's what an oscillator is. Okay, it's just putting out a steady wave, right? So strong oscillator, we talk about your heart, pulls a chaotic system, a client's like nervous system into rhythm. So I put client in there because I'm learning this for myself as well, of when I'm working with people, the more I can get in coherence, the deeper I feel the client can go, because I'm helping them feel a sense of coherence. It helps pull their system into coherence. This is the theory, right? And I've seen this actually with like studies of water. That's not a topic for today, but like literally like structured water sitting next to an unstructured water glass without doing anything will actually pull that one into like more coherence, more structure. It's wild stuff. So essentially a stronger field will pull a one that's chaotic into coherence, right? And the idea is, this is why it's important to do our healing together, not trying to do it alone, because this helps hold you. It's like giving you a hug. It's like holding you together while you go inward and helping you feel the coherence, right? All right, cool. Now this is just some cool stuff because we're about to go into the heart coherence journey. In what I'm learning with Seder, in the Norse tradition, so the Vardlaker, I'm still learning how to say these words. The ancient warding song, this is an interesting connection I wanted to share with you guys, is what the Seder practitioner would do is they would sing a song or they would use music to get everyone in coherence. It would get the place in coherence, right? Because vibrations, this constant steady vibration, imagine the oscillator putting out a steady coherent wave. The music will help put your entire nervous system, your entire body into coherence. And all of a sudden, people are in coherence. They're listening. They're following along. If you've ever done a shamanic journey for any of you guys, or just a meditation where it's just a steady beat, that's what it's doing. It's putting your whole system into rhythm, right? Binaural beats, I believe, use the same concept. It's just this steady beat in the background that is so consistent that your brain waves match up with it. I've heard people describe binaural beats as it's literally like getting in their brain, like they feel it. It's like, oh my God, I can't help but like tune up to it, right? So that is what they would use song and music, right? And I'm still actually going to be working this into my practices. But the idea is that when we create coherence within ourselves, and then we come together with the other people, we help them create coherence as well. All right. So this is the theory. This is the idea, and this is what I'm going to help show you guys today. Okay. So this is a really important point that I really want to hit on, because I think this is important that we understand that as humans, we need to come together to help one another. Healing, there is time for isolation. There is time for going inward and just being in a cave and being on your own, like the metaphorical cave, unless you really do the 3 days, 3 nights in a cave. That's a whole nother journey. But the metaphorical cave of being on your own. But there's also the time to come around the hearth, come around the fire. How often have you been around a fire with other people, and just all of a sudden, like after a while, y'all start dropping in, laughing, telling stories, feeling good? The fire has brought everyone into coherence, actually. It's super cool. I haven't actually thought about this till right now. It's literally the fire, because what's the fire doing? As you're looking at the embers, as you're looking at the glow, it's this steady. The light is actually steady. It's real steady. It's bringing you into coherence, and it's activating something within your mitochondria, and it's actually increasing like the charge within your body. It's another way, like using light to charge, right? And then everyone starts to get into the same frequency because we're all looking at the fire. And then our heart coherence, because our bodies, our nervous systems coming into coherence, we're bringing everyone into coherence, right? But the main point I want to make here is that as we increase our voltage, as we increase our coherence, we help others do the same. It's this idea of spreading your light. Like the brighter we become, like the brighter we are for others, right? We bring our light to the world. Okay. So I really want to end this part of the presentation on that, because we all have the potential to really shine our lights. And at the end of the day, that is what I'm trying to teach here. How to shine your light as bright as possible and really begin to help yourself heal, one, and two, help your community heal. And then this is how we create a wave of impact. Right? All right, cool. Just stay upright for this one, and make sure your legs aren't crossed, and make sure your feet can touch the ground, okay? So same, Morena, I know you're listening. And if you'd like to turn off your camera, feel free. But if you feel comfortable leaving it on, please do. But it's up to you. So let's do this thing, y'all. Oh man, these are my favorite. All right, guys. So wherever you're at, just gonna invite you to start making a little movement. And this movement is really to get settled into your seat. So just, yeah, getting settled, getting comfortable. Like I said, this will be about a 25, 30-minute journey. So really getting comfortable here. And as you do this movement, just begin to move your awareness down to your seat. Just gently moving that awareness right down to your seat. Just notice how your chair or whatever you're sitting in now is holding you. Noticing as you are pushing against it, it is pushing up against you. Just know that this chair is going to hold you, the seat is going to hold you throughout this entire journey, keeping you upright, keeping you safe. So now that we build this relationship with this chair, knowing that we'll be held and kept upright, We're just going to begin to build the charge of our body. Begin to feel the charge and the voltage, that Megin we talked about in the body. Just beginning to bring our awareness down to our toes. We're going to begin to activate the etheric body, which you can think is like the energy grid of the body, part of the nervous system. Just feeling our body, feeling our toes. Just beginning with the left foot, just begin to notice each individual toe. Imagine you have a paintbrush of awareness and just painting up and down each toe. Moving to the right toes, painting each individual toe. Tops of the left and the right foot. Moving to the bottom of the feet. Just painting that awareness. Feeling the energy activate. Moving into the ankles, the left ankle first. Just painting around it. Moving to the right. Just allowing it to activate as we continue to move up the front of the shin, left shin. Just long strokes up and down. Moving to the right shin. Coming around to the left calf, up and down. Your right calf now. Almost as if you've put on a sock of awareness on each leg now, all the way to the knee. Encircling the left knee. Now the right knee. Moving into the top of the left thigh. And the right thigh. Painting the inner thighs. Hamstrings, the back of the thigh. The outside. As you've painted awareness all the way from the feet to the thighs, moving into the glutes, into your bottom, painting the left glute. Just brushing back and forth, activating the energy. Right glute. Moving into the bottom of your pelvis, the groin. Coming up, painting that lower belly. And spiraling around to the lower back. Just feeling yourself charge up. Moving that awareness, continuing to spiral around up to the mid-torso. Coming around to the mid-back. Into your upper chest. Painting the left, moving to the right. Coming around the left shoulder blade, upper back. And gently coming to the left shoulder and circling the entire shoulder, moving down the arm, left arm, past the elbow, wrist, and into each individual finger, just painting that awareness. And then feeling the palm of your hand, painting that awareness, and really feeling the pulsing energy in the palm of your hand. This is you, this is your energy, this is your Megin. Bringing that awareness back up the arm, coming over to the right shoulder, down the right arm, to the elbow, to the wrist. Just painting each individual finger, activating your entire right hand, feeling the pulsing in your palm, feeling your energy. Moving that awareness back up the arm and just encircling the neck, the lower part of the neck. Feeling it spiral up as you engulf the entire neck, almost as if you were going underwater. And now it's just your chin that dips under, covering the back of the head, the ears, the mouth, the nose, the eyes, until it covers up your forehead and the top of your head. And you are now activated from the toes to the crown of your head. Just noticing your entire body at this moment. This is your energy. This is your energy body pulsing. You may feel some vibration. Just being with whatever it is. We are all now activated within our energy bodies. So now I want you to scan from the top of your head, moving down your spine to the root of your spine, right at the bottom of the coccyx. Just do a couple scans from the root to the crown of your head. Now gently resting our awareness into the root of the spine, right in that root chakra, base of the spine. Just beginning to breathe deeply into the base of the spine here. Breathing that prana, breathing that ond, that life force into your root. And as you breathe, on your next exhale, just imagine roots sprouting out of the base of your spine. And that exhale, with each exhale, you just dig those roots deeper into the earth. Digging as deep as you possibly can. Maybe even reaching to the core of Mother Earth. And now with yourself rooted, rooted in our Earth Mother. Know that you will remain grounded and rooted throughout this entire journey. The Earth Mother will hold you. She will give you the energy needed to journey within yourself. So with that, with each inhale, breathing energy up from Mother Earth, building that energy in your root. Just begin to imagine a warm golden light begins to appear within your root as you breathe in this energy. You may begin to feel it, you may begin to see it, you may just know that it's there. Just continue to breathe it in, opening that root, grounding us ever more to earth. Now I want to begin to move this energy up the spine, imagining the trunk of a tree sprouting from this light, moving up the lower back, past the belly, just moving up and up and up, feeling the energy move with you as it passes through your heart, coming up through the throat to your forehead. And as it shoots out the top of your head, branches, leaves, whatever wants to sprout will sprout out. And you feel you are the tree of life. You are the tree rooted to this earth and opening to the divine, to Creator, to your higher self. So with us in this state, I'm going to say a few prayers for us to call in the higher powers. So I pray to Creator now that you be with us here, protect us in this moment as we are journeying into ourselves, into our hearts. Help to guide those here and help to guide all those listening. Help us to guide into our hearts, to show us what we need to see to connect more with ourselves, with our hearts, with our truth. And I pray for any guides of the individuals here today and the individuals of those listening, any guides that have the best interests and the best heart for the people here, to help them today to journey into their hearts. Now call upon our geese to protect us and to connect us to the divine. So with this prayer, just begin to imagine with the crown of your tree, the tops of your tree, a warm golden light coming down, receiving from the heavens, from the higher realms, coming down through the tops of your trees, like capturing light. It just begins to wash over you, washing down your entire body. Washing you in divine light. And just imagine that light is beginning to pour into your heart. So just breathing that light into your heart space. feeling the light of your heart begin to expand. And then realizing this whole time energy is still coming up from the earth through your root and into your heart. So the energy is flowing from below through the heart and out above, and it's flowing from above into your heart and down below. The divine and the earth are meeting within you, charging your heart. So just feeling your heart space expand with this energy. And begin to see if you can feel outside of your body where your heart is. How far in front of you can you expand this energy? Just continuing to breathe deeply into your heart. How far can you feel your heart behind you? Just imagining that heart space continuing to expand. Receiving energy from the heavens, from earth. And this whole time you've been here in your heart space, building its energy, building its light. It has been writing a message for you. We cannot see the message yet, but know it is being written. Know it is being encoded into this energetic field. And with this, I want you to begin to bring all your awareness into your central heart space. Bringing that awareness, just resting it in there. And as you bring your awareness to your heart space, you begin to see the beginnings of the message. It can be in sound, it can be in words, it can be in visions. But this is your space, this is your time for you just to be with the message and be with the journey. And I will call you back when it is time. But for now, enjoy the message. So continuing to be with the journey wherever you're at, allowing your heart to show you the way. So now inviting you guys, wherever you're at in this journey, if you've come out of the heart space, just coming back, bringing that awareness to the heart. Just asking you the question while we're here. Is there anything else you would like to show me, heart? Is there anything else you would like to show me, heart? So now with this final message for tonight's journey from your heart, I want you all to go ahead, just gently put your hands over your heart. I want you to feel with your hands your heart space. And whether or not you received a clear message, or if you did receive a clear message today, just giving thanks to your heart for being here with you today. However that looks like for you, just giving gratitude, feeling your heart. And just know that your heart is always here for you. The relationship is always there for you to continue to bond, to grow stronger. And just remember this feeling now of being connected, being in your heart space, and know that you can always return to this space because this is you. This is not outside of you. This is you right here. This feeling of your heart, this is you. So with this, I'm just going to close us out with a simple gratitude for Creator, for being with us today, holding us safe, to allowing us to journey within ourselves, within our hearts. And a thank you to any of the guides of the people here today, any guides that came to help us journey today. Thank you. And a thank you to Mother Earth below for rooting us, grounding us, and holding us safe in this space. And with that, just gently lowering your hands, just beginning to pull those roots back up from Mother Earth, reversing what we did, bringing those roots back in, allowing your treetop to come back down your spine, coming back down, down, down. Just beginning to feel your body's slight movements as your tree returns to your root. Just little movements to bring you back to this plane, this physical awareness. And taking one deep breath together. So inhaling and exhaling. Just allowing that breath to return to its natural rhythm. On your next exhale, just making your eyes, making their way to open. Yeah. If you guys need to write anything, feel free. Whatever message you received, whether it was feeling, words, emotions, whether it was nothing, it's all something. It's all a message. And I'm going to let you guys keep those messages to yourself. I think it's personal. Just allowing you guys to sit with that. But my invitation for you guys here, anyone watching this recording, whatever came through, write it down. Sit with it. Be with it. Our hearts have our best interests at mind, and it's here to help you. So that's my message for the heart, being with the heart. I hope you guys enjoyed this. For you guys and anyone watching this, I'm going to be doing this every month within my classroom on Skool, Roots to Nature Journeys. We're going to do a monthly heart coherence journey where we all come together to help create coherence with one another. Because like I said, guys, I believe healing happens together. Growth happens together. There's time for isolation, but it's a beautiful time for coming together for this type of work. If you guys want to do one-on-one sessions, I do heart coherence sessions one-on-one where I can actually ask you questions and dive deeper into your heart. So we get into that coherence and we go deeper. We dive into different emotions, different stuck energies that want to move so we can create more coherence within ourselves coming back. And lastly, I'm going to be starting a weekly call on my Skool. This one will be paid, but it's where we come together each week. We dive into a pillar. We dive into a practice that I'm learning. And I show you guys how to do the practice, whether it's breath, movement, whether it's some kind of like journeying like we did today, teaching you how to continue to raise your voltage, how to make these lifestyle habits, and how to continue to journey into your heart and be your most authentic self. And we do that together week to week. So that's for everyone here and everyone watching this recording. Those are ways to continue deepening your practice with heart coherence and leading your life from the heart.